while abortion is a short-term decision, you're telling me it can have a very long-term cost.
Yes.
What is it exactly about having an abortion that brings this kind of suffering into a woman's life?
Okay, well, I think what we can do is maybe sort of roll the tape and think of a woman who's going to make the decision to have an abortion. She's entering the abortion facility believing that this is a good thing to do for her. It's the right thing, it's the true thing, and it's something that really can't be all that unpleasant an experience. After all, it's in a medical facility. Unfortunately, that's not the reality that she finds.
Give me some examples, please.
I think specifically, the first thing she finds is the abortion facility is not a warm place. It's a cold room, set of rooms filled with mechanical equipment, filled with digital equipment and surgical tools. The abortion providers are described by most of the clients in our counseling experience as being cold and insensitive. We also find that the procedure itself is described as painful when the person did not expect that. And worst of all, the woman who's had an abortion finds that abortion is not just ending a pregnancy, but it's actually destroying a human life.
Okay. All right. Besides the shock of facing these unexpected realities, is there anything else about having the abortion that connects to the distress that can follow?
Yes, I think the hardest thing is when a woman is in the middle of having an abortion and she's there in the actual room where the procedure will occur, and an insight comes crashing down on her that, gee, I think what's happening is that I'm going to lose my baby. She decides at that moment that I want to save my baby, and she'll even yell to the clinic personnel, stop, stop, and she finds that they don't stop, and instead what she finds is that she doesn't have a choice. They're not stopping the operation. This happens to a lot of the women that we work with in counseling.
I've read that in some of my research as I was looking into this here. Personality factors, what are they that would lead a woman to have an abortion instead of not having the abortion?
Okay, well, we find usually a certain similar constellation. A lot of the women who have abortions are often those who are not psychologically strong. They have difficulty with bold love, making loving decisions, standing their ground, deciding that they're going to do something that maybe goes against the tide. They're often from adult children of alcoholic type of backgrounds, which you probably have heard a lot about in the media especially. And we often find a surprising number of women who have been sexually abused, so they're sexual abuse survivors. So when they have the abortion, there's some kind of a connection here to being vulnerable.
Okay. What about age? Is there a percentage, a large percentage of one age more than another?
Well, we find that often those that are most vulnerable are the young, because they are short-sighted in their decision-making, they're concrete, and often they don't have the educational knowledge about the facts of life, so often they really don't know what they're doing. We also find older people being very vulnerable because they're kind of aware of what's going on, and they realize, I think I really know what I'm doing in this abortion.
Okay. Family factors that would lead to this here decision.
I think family factors, a lot of women who we work with in counseling come to us and they say that they were pressured by family because the decision to have an abortion is necessary to save a career decision, to help with schooling, and it's just a lot of pressure. And often the women feel that the decision is not in their control. Actually, it's in someone else's control, and they're just doing it because they're afraid. They don't know what else to do.
Okay, what about environmental factors?
Environmental factors, I think we have often the teachers and medical doctors that may be consulted in the process of a woman's abortion decision, and a woman will find that instead of giving constructive solutions that are positive and have no long-term complications, they'll just be told that it's the right thing to do. In fact, we even had one client who said to us, the doctor said, well, your baby's going to die anyway, so you may as well have an abortion.